Good afternoon, and welcome to our brand new podcast. I am the universe with Martin Cowart, and I am so excited if you joined us today for this very, very exciting event. This podcast comes out of a major breakthrough I made last year when I finally let go of the reins for my business and delegated everything to my business partner and my team to run the business. And I stepped back as the strategist and the quiet, observing presence to guide them along. And when I did that, I realized something. After 43 years of studying and sitting on cushions, I'm the universe, and so are you. And I thought, wow, we got to get that message out in the world, because once I claimed that, I opened my eyes to like, wow, we created all this stuff, and isn't the world gorgeous? It's exciting. Let's have some fun. I got to get this message out to everybody. I'm the universe. You're the universe. We're the universe. Because when we step into that power, there is nothing we can't create. That's what we're doing. And it's just so exciting. So I want to that's how we got here. But I want to share with you how Emilie got here. Emilie showed up. This is how we work in the world. Emilie shows up after coming to one of my workshops, and she sends me a text and says, I think I could help you with your logo. And I'm thinking, help me with my logo? What's wrong with my logo? I like my logo. I went all up in my head with like, I didn't ask for this. And then I just do what I teach my clients and teach myself. I slow down to listen, to see what was the universe showing me. Why is she showing me this? And the reality is that I'm the universe. I created this opportunity for something. So I just slowed down and listened to what she had to say. And when I realized that the message was coming from love, she saw something in what we were doing that she thought could make it better. She felt something in me about my message and what I was trying to deliver. And she says, we can make that a lot clearer, Martin. And I'd love to help you. If you wouldn't mind, telling people where you learned it from. I said, oh my God. Then I realized, wow, once I realized what was in it for her and listened from that place of love, I thought, what a wonderful gift. And we created a triple win, because if she wins by doing what she wants to do, and I win by getting my logo fixed in my brand, the universe is better because look what we got. That's a triple win, and that's what we want in the world. We want triple wins as we move into this we world, away from the me world. This is what the we will looks like. It looks like people coming out in the universe and offering things to help you because it's going to help them. We listening long enough to say, yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. And look how much better the universe would be if we did that. Wow. And I'm so glad we did, because I'll tell you something. She has just been so thoughtful and brilliant in helping us, our team and I, come up with what we really need to do to shape this brand, to talk about what we do. So I'm going to ask Emilie, welcome to the show, Emilie. Thank you so much for being the creative genius who inspired us, who got into my creative genius and my team and came up with this wonderful new brand, our new logo, which she designed, which is up in the corner of the screen. And introduce us, just briefly tell us who you are, but most importantly, give people a little teaser, and then I'm going to come back and talk about who our influencer is today. Every week we're going to be picking an influencer of mine today. We'll talk about that in 1 second. But Emilie, tell us what you want our listeners to what big aha or big wow do you want our listeners to walk away with today after listening to our show?
Yeah, hello. So thanks for welcoming me here today. It's amazing. And I'm Emilie, and I'm French with a Polish background, but I'm passionate about the Anglo-Saxon culture. So I work internationally, and my activity is to bring more alignment to companies with their brand, and I like to operate from my zone of genius and as well I like people to operate from their zone of genius when we create a brand, because this is how it's going to be perfectly aligned with who you are and what you want to bring in the world. So yeah, that's what I do, and I'll tell you more.
What's the one thing you want our listeners to walk away with today? What's the one big aha or the big awareness that you want our listeners to come away with today after listening to our show, Emilie?
Yeah, what I really want to people to that people realize is that everyone has a creative genius inside of them. We all have it, but sometimes we don't know this zone. We are not comfortable with this because we've never been in a safe creative space to reveal this. But I really want everyone to know that they are all artists. We are all creative geniuses. And yeah, this is so important to understand.
What I will say as being on the receiving end of that is that yeah, we got into our zone of genius together and created this design, and we had so much fun. It was fun and exciting. And I'm not a that's not my world. I'm a coach and a mentor. So that was just not my thing. But she helped me see what we were trying to do, and we helped and brought me ideas. It was just amazing to me, and I just want to thank you for that. And we're going to get back to your story, but I want to something new we're going to be doing on I Am the Universe podcast is every week we're going to introduce an influencer, someone that's influenced me and got me to this space. And the first show I want to introduce is and dedicate this show to is Oprah Winfrey. And you might wonder, well, why Oprah Winfrey? I'll tell you why. She inspires me more than any person on this planet right now. She and I were both born in 1954 in the Deep South. She was born a poor black girl in Mississippi. I was born of a fairly affluent white family of means in South Georgia. Her chances of survival were a lot less than mine. But wow, what has she become? She is one of the most powerful, influential people on the planet. I don't know how many billions of dollars she's worth today. And she's black and she's a woman. So if she can turn that emptiness, that void into a multi-billion-dollar empire for the betterment of our planet, she's someone we want to pay attention to. I don't know how she tapped into that zone of genius at such a young age to do what she did. And Oprah, if you're listening to me, you're welcome to come on my show anytime and tell me how you did that. I would love to know. But I'm excited about you. And this show, I'm dedicating this show to Oprah Winfrey for being such an inspiration to us to show us what you can do with money if you do it from the heart. And boy, has she made an impact on our world, and she continues to make an impact on our world. And thank you, thank you, thank you, Oprah, for being such an inspiration to me and the rest of the world and all that you've done to make this planet better for everyone else. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now let's go back. Thank you for being so patient, Emilie. Let's go back to our guest. And Emilie, tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get into this? How did you realize your zone of genius was in the world of creativity and graphic design? And just tell us a little bit about your story and how you got here.
Yeah, so I've always been passionate about arts and culture. When I was in high school, I was in the fine arts department. And then I did a few years of art school. And I am passionate about photography, about paintings, about writing, and those things I keep doing. And then I worked in communication, but I was in the cultural world. I mean, I was an event organizer for cultural events in France. And but I've spent 2 years in London, which opened my perspectives a lot. It was, my 2 years in London have been very important in my life because it completely opened my world. And so after many years of being a cultural event organizer and being in the art space, then I felt the need to launch my own activity because I was feeling lots of limitations in every missions and jobs I was completing. And then I thought, what's the last option left, I mean, is launching my own projects, and I didn't want any limitation anymore about what I could create and bring to the world. So this is where it's funny because you call it the zone of genius, but first I didn't have this language. I didn't know about this. So I've just made one decision. I, I'm I've decided that I would agree to anything my heart would bring to me. And it has been like a spiritual journey and an agreement with myself, because in many jobs, in many places I worked before, people would reproach to me to be too creative, and it was bothering people. It's like, oh, it's always too much, too many ideas, too many things. And then I thought, no, I'm gonna go creating things myself, and there won't be any limit. If I want to build 10 projects, I will build 10. It's on me. So and then I thought, yeah, I thought if I'm a person with multi potentiality, I mean, I will express it, because this is what people had reproached to me all the time. And then I thought, no, it's not a bad thing, it's a gift, and I want to see it this way, and I want to defend that. So this is how I've created several things. And then when I've met entrepreneurs, I've started to meet many entrepreneurs. And then I thought, how can I bring all my background from the artistic world and the cultural world that I still love, and I'm regularly, it fits my personality and my soul all the time. So I thought, how can I use this to bring some value to entrepreneurs? And yeah, so this took me to branding, because I thought that I had this, I mean, what I was reproached to have too many ideas. I mean, in this space, I mean, it's my strength. It's high. I have
Mhm.
tons of ideas. When I meet entrepreneurs, I have visions. Sometimes I meet them when I get involved in their workshops, their events. I hear what they talk about, and I see their brand, and I have visions. I visualize how it could be, maybe how it could look, so it would feel amazing to me. So yeah, I can use all of my words by doing that.
Well, let's see what Jeffrey had to say about Oprah. Oprah has had many interesting statements, but something that stuck with me about her concept of brand on helping others was your personal brand is based on what you share, not just on what you know. You can teach amazing things from your own experiences. I love that, Jeffrey. Yes. Do you want to comment on that? And I want to. Do you want to comment on that, Emily? What they just said about it's really about expressing who you are. Who is the genius behind the brand? Who is Martin? Who is how do I convey people my energy out in the world in a way that people want to are attracted to what I'm got to say and want to be part of it.
Yeah, it's that's why in your logo, for example, I've suggested that we could bring this bow tie in your logo, because for me, a brand has to be your logo has to bring a part of you, a part of your personality, so people need to be able to link your logo, your communication with yourself, your who you are, your personality, or maybe your story. It's gonna be different for each and every one of us. But the brand is not just some pictures for a company. It's much more than that. It has to be, there must be some soul in it, some personality. We have to make it alive and human as well. And yeah, as he said, your brain can be about something that you share. Maybe if you have a very special history, maybe there will be some link between your logo and the part of this history that you keep telling, so that's how you can, the graphics is not just image, it's not like a flat 2D picture. It has to be much more. So then it has to be a vibration with your story and your mission.
Yeah, wow. It's funny that I'm not surprised that you picked up that. I took a course and read a book by a guy named Todd Herman, The Alter Ego Effect. Great book if you haven't read it yet. And he has on a pair of glasses. When he puts on his glasses, he steps into his alter ego as Todd Herman, the coach, et cetera, et cetera. And he also makes a reference to Sasha Pierce, I believe it was Beyonce's name. She had to step into an alter ego. And when I took his course, I realized that I've been wearing a bow tie since I was in college, and I always showed up for networking events and parties with a bow tie on. And I realized that when I took his course, that when I put on this bow tie, I'm stepping into my alter ego. I'm stepping into that ego, that space of Joy the Wise Woman. I'm stepping into the place of my spirit, where I'm so powerful that I couldn't be as just Martin Cowart. So that is a wonderful, wonderful pickup there. I want to go back to something you said in your story that just is so true. And I want to know, you said you began to say yes to your heart.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about your life when you were saying no to your heart. What was that life like? What made you decide to say, finally, you know what? The universe has given me all these gifts. Why don't I just say yes? See what happened.
Yeah, so for me it was more like because I've always been this very creative, and I've always loved doing many things, but it was more like the world was saying no to my creativity, because in some organizations, when someone is very artistic and creative, sometimes what I was told that it was too intense for people. So it was too hard for them to work with me because they were like in a routine, which they loved, and it was quite balanced for them. But I was always that person who brings new things and new ideas and new perspectives. And some people even say, yeah, it's amazing, but look, we can't really do all of that because it's too much for us. So then I thought, yeah, I need to find a space where I will say yes to this part of my heart, but to find people who will say yes to this as well, because they will see the value in it, and they will see how much value it can bring to their brands. Because when you have a company, if you have a vibrant brand and vibrant graphics, it's going to bring so much to what you do, especially if you work online. It can make such a huge difference in how people perceive what you're doing.
Yeah, but it expands. It expands because in the process, it wasn't just about me, as you know. It was about you. And I want before we get to that, I want to talk about the process and how much fun it was to work with you and what we all got from it, and how it helped not just shape the brand of Martin Cowart, but it's helped to shape the brand and the image and the vision of Financial Heart Space in my team. But what was it like when you came? Maybe that's kind of your approach. But I remember when I got this email from you out kind of out of the blue, and it said, "I'd like to help you with your logo." What did that feel like on your side when you were like, "Well, what's Martin gonna? How is he gonna respond to this?" Tell me a little bit what was going on your side. For me, it was like a little bit of a shock for a minute, and then I slowed down, like I said, and said, "Wait a minute." One thing before I get there, I want to tell you something to you guys. That thing in your heart that's telling you something, bringing things up, if something is coming up from the subconscious to the conscious, the subconscious is the universe. That's the big universal brain. We're all connected to it in the subconscious way. When we bring something to the conscious, say yes to it. We created the opportunity. There's not a universe over there in Emilie or an awareness in Emilie, and there's a different universe over in me. The universe brought up this in both of us at the same. It brought it up, and it's the same universe bringing it up to you. Is what I'm trying to tell you. If you've got something coming up, an opportunity, and you don't know what it is, you can be trust for sure that if it's showing up, what all you want to do is check: is it coming from love? If it's coming from love, it's your heart coming up and saying, hey, look at this. I'm the universe. I got something for you that's going to make your life better. Take a look at it. And so often it doesn't look like our agenda. It doesn't look like we got all this stuff going on over here. And the universe is giving us tons and tons and tons of opportunity to serve the universe. I'm not here to serve Martin. I'm here to serve the universe. And the universe is giving us opportunity after opportunity to serve her. And we say, no, not my, I don't have time for that. Not on my watch. Go away. We do it all day long. Stop it. If you want to start having some fun, stop, listen, and see what the universe is bringing you. So I didn't mean to get too far, but it's that's a great conversation to me, because it really does show you how we operate when we're in our zone of genius. We're not judging. We're not afraid. We don't have any fear. So when she showed with that first moment of fear, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me open up my heart and see what her heart is trying to show me. And when I realized that it was coming from love, I could receive it with love. So tell me a little bit about, that's my side. Tell me a little bit about your side of that conversation and of that transaction, of that happening.
Yeah, so my side was to be the first part, which is very important to me, is that I've met you in a coaching program, and then I felt that in the group cohort you were sharing with authenticity, and it's something that I appreciated. So then I wanted to see online what you were sharing. And so the first thing is I'm sincerely attracted to the person's word and his vibration, the message, or something like that. And the first part, I want to connect with. I wanted to connect with you personally. I mean, I wanted to bring what you were sharing into my world. So this is the first part. And then I started by getting involved and participating in your workshops. I started to see what I could bring. And then I had some, as I said, I had some inspirations. I remember I shared with you a song because you were sharing about the staircase, about the evolution as a spiritual individual, from which steps we go. And so I sent you that song that is Stairway to Heaven from by
I remember that now.
And I said, I mean, what you were sharing in your workshop, it really brought me back to many things I had experienced without being able to name all of that. So yeah, for me, so it started like this. It's most of the time is I have genuine feelings toward what the person is doing. I can see how much it brings to people to receive this. And then there's my professional persona that comes alive and say, hey, you can bring something to this project, because my goal is to help people raise. When I see some people who I've renamed my own company as a positive social impact, because that's what motivates me. When I see that an entrepreneur is really bringing something that is going to change life, And the more I got to know your company, the more I realized it was what you were doing and what you were motivated to do. So then I I really felt the motivation and the way to help you enhance what you do, because I want you to have a bigger impact. I want I want more people to know and to benefit from what you do and what you share, because it's not easy. I mean, I know the risk you're taking risks to go out there, share so many personal messages, or very spiritual and sensitive messages that help us elevate our soul. And I think I want to support that. I want to amplify this message because I really think so many people need that. I mean, it's a win-win, as you're saying on YouTube.
And thank you so much. That was beautifully spoken. If you guys are resonating with me, I want you to do something for me. I want you to write in the comments, hashtag I am the universe. If this is resonating with you, if you're feeling this with you, if you understand what we're talking about, if you're getting this, if we're opening up this zone of genius in you, I want you to shout out in the comment section, hashtag I am the universe. One word, hashtag I am the universe. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you realize that's who you are, the whole world changes. Because that's the truth. Who else could you possibly be? Who else could we possibly be? Now
Yeah.
there's a sack of skin over here and some bones, but if the universe wasn't in here, that life force wasn't in me, I'd be in the cemetery. It's the life force within all of us that is the universe.
Mm.
And when you realize that I am the universe living, the created form of the universe, living in a loving dance between the creator and the created, that's what makes life exciting. It's that dance we get to know, because now we're already there. We're already in our zone of genius. We cannot not be connected to the universe. We cannot not be the universe. The only difference is those who are awakened to the fact and are aware of it. And that is the purpose of this podcast and this conversation today, is to help you wake up to the truth of who you are. I am the universe. You are the universe. We are the universe. And when we sit in that seat of loving awareness, that's how we change the world. That's how we create. And let me tell you something. We're so brought up with the idea of what we do. How the universe works is what we think is what we create. The only doing is thinking. What we think is what we create. And what we feel is what we attract. Again, there's no doing other than allowing ourselves to feel what we're feeling to guide us through life. And the third, what we imagine is what we become, which is why I always come back to, who are you being? I am being the universe. It has nothing to do with what you're doing. And we go up thinking, oh, if I do this, this, and this, I can make this happen, or I can create. It's not doing, it's being who we are with those creative forces that are right here within our being. Okay. So, wow, this has been a wonderful conversation. And I see us coming up on the half hour. And I want to try to always make sure I get in that half hour, but we might go a few minutes over. Before we go into anything else, I'd love to give you a chance to tell people what's the best and the easiest way for people to reach out to you, Emilie, and talk to you and get to know you and see how they might be able to use your services the way we have to build their brand and their image in the world.
Yeah, so they can find me on LinkedIn with my name, Emilie Grelewicz. Or they can on Facebook, I'm Emi Create. And on my website is positivesocialimpact.com. So they can find me there. And what I'd like to add to what you said before, and that is important when you want to create a new brand as well, is that you have to understand that it has to come from within. I mean, it's not forcing, I mean, sitting down and forcing yourself to create things. It doesn't happen like this. When you find the right name for your brand or the right graphics, it's in a moment when your mind is completely quiet and you feel something from your heart. And this is, it really is what the work you're doing, Martin, is so important for entrepreneurs, because sometimes when we are very tenacious, I mean, we can insist and do so many things, but then it doesn't really feel aligned. And we have to be able to break free and let go and relax and really be in our body and in our heart. And this is where maybe one or two ideas or even three, and then you've got the perfect one. So it's it's important to work on both sides. So it's important to I mean, I've educated myself to what you do, to become more from the intuition and from the heart, and not that much from the head. And it's such a game changer.
Thank you for saying it's true. So let me just tell you, if you're looking to meet this brilliant creative genius, Emily, just go to LinkedIn and look for Emilie Grelewicz. I don't know how to pronounce Grill. Help me out with your spelling. It's Grelewicz.
Grelewicz. Grelewicz.
Grelewicz. That I'll spell it for people who are just listening. It's spelled Emilie, and her last name is spelled Grelewicz, which is a tough name for us Americans, I got to tell you. So
Yeah.
thank you, and I apologize for not being able to get it quite pronounced the way it should be. I'm learning, and we know what I'm really having fun is as we expand out into the international world, and a lot of my work's done in Africa, learning to say and pronounce African names has been challenged, but a fun challenge because I can learn that. I'm the universe. There's nothing I can't learn. If they can learn American and they can learn English, I can certainly learn how to pronounce their names in African. So thank you so much for being on here. And I just want to say, if anybody's wanting to, and again, if this is resonating with you, please give us, this is our first premiere show. I want to know if you're feeling us. Put into the comment section, hashtag I am the universe. And if you're listening to the podcast, the replay of the podcast, please put that into the podcast channel. I am the universe. Make those comments on my YouTube or wherever you might be listening, so that we know that we're getting out there to you and you like what you're hearing. Okay, I appreciate that. And if anybody wants to get to know me, the easiest way is same thing as Emily's. You can always find me on all the social media networks as Martin Cowart, or you can go to my Linktree Martin_Cowart. That's Linktree Martin_Cowart, and you can contact me there, and you can find out all about all our programs over there. And I'd love to get to know anybody listening who wants to know more about getting into that, because I'm on a mission. I am on a mission to wake everybody up on this planet to the truth. I'm the universe. You're the universe. We're the universe. And the reason why, just imagine, I am now, and Emily is too, because she's been working with me, driving through life in the seat of loving awareness, seat of consciousness, the seat of the universe, because I'm the universe, but I'm conscious of it. And I know I'm there because I'm sitting in the place where loving kindness is at the heart and soul of my being. I can't judge. I'm not. And when I find myself judging, I know I'm not in my zone of genius. And I'll say, let it go, Martin. I'm the universe. I got this. And all of a sudden it just disappears. Just like, oh, I'm not judging anymore. I'm not criticizing myself any longer or anybody else. So it's a wonderful mantra. If you want to try it, just try it. When things are coming up, mumble to yourself, I am the universe. And I'll bet you're going to be surprised at how much things will be different for you. So then again, that's Linktree Martin_Cowart. You can always find me there. Send me a DM. I'd love to get to know you and get to know more about you. Thank you so much, Aisha. Aisha is one of my coaching clients. She's Aisha is someone you want to talk with. She's a very inspiring fashion designer in Africa, and she's putting together her own program out there like you are. She'd be a good person for you to chat with. And Peter, I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for saying with us today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the first episode of our new podcast, I Am the Universe, with Martin Cowart, so we can change the world and get everybody living from this seat of loving awareness and driving through life. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm so glad you were here, and I look forward to you being around next time. And also, the podcast will be out next week, and you can listen to us there. Okay? Thank you so much.
Bye.